This part of this three-part series will undoubtedly be the most controversial. After watching this, some of you may not like me. Some may love me more than you've loved any other comedian in the history of comedy. But you will feel something, and you will have something to say after. So let's get into it. Meghan Markle. Is she a victim of racism? Absolutely. Was the British media racist toward her? Without a shadow of a doubt. Do I care about her situation? Not in the least bit. Let me explain why. Meghan Markle is an actress in Hollywood who has zero ties to anyone in Black Hollywood. Listen to me. If I wasn't in Hollywood and I didn't see it firsthand, I wouldn't be able to speak on this. It is very difficult to be a working Black actor or actress or in any form of entertainment and not be surrounded by other Black people, or at least be hanging out with them or nothing. You know nothing about Meghan Markle. You never saw her at any Black events. You never saw her at any award ceremonies. You never saw her taking pictures with Black friends. The only Black friend we know her to have is Serena Williams, and we all know that she met Serena because she was dating Harry. So why didn't we see Meghan Markle in any Black publications or around any other Black people in the industry that she worked? I could be wrong, but I believe it's because she looks white passing. Black people know what I mean when I say white passing. It is, you look like you're ethnic, but no one looks at you and thinks, nigger. So she was able to move that way throughout her career, and she took advantage of it. I can't get mad at her for that. My thing is when it starts to play against you, don't then try to black it up in order to ingratiate yourself amongst the community that you turned your back on. People keep calling Piers Morgan a hater, as they should. He is 100% a hater. He wanted her, couldn't have her. She went to somebody else and cut that nigga off, and now he's bitter. But what I find surprising is no one is questioning why this woman who's Black and all of a sudden has this pride in being Black dated the British version of Bill O'Reilly. Piers Morgan says overtly racist shit all the time. Why did that never bother her? Well, at least it didn't bother her enough to stop her from going on a date with him. Because she never really cared. I don't believe she embraced the Black community at all. It wasn't until she realized that she was going to be rejected that she started to black it up. Whenever she was named the next princess, and Black women all over the world was like, yes, queen, we gonna have a Black girl in Buckingham Palace. Then she decided to have a Black choir, at her wedding. She had a Black pastor at her wedding that had nothing to do with none of the churches she go to, by the way. And then this pastor is giving a sermon about Martin Luther King in Britain at a wedding? What? Can somebody understand? Like, somebody help me understand. We don't even talk about Martin Luther King in our weddings here in America as Black people. So why are they talking about Martin Luther King in a wedding at Buckingham Palace? Why? Because they knew racism and it was something that they were going to have to address. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. Hey, yo, Meghan, ain't this your husband? Yo, listen, a swastika on his sleeve, next to a guy in blackface, next to a guy with a Ku Klux Klan hood on. Now, Harry was 17 whenever this happened, and it was supposed to be a joke. Harry may have grown into a different man now. He may be light years away from being that person anymore. But the point that I want to make to y'all is he grew up in an environment where that was okay as a joke. Think about that. I believe the problem that Meghan Markle has isn't racism. The problem Meghan Markle has is that racism is preventing her from getting the princess dream life that she thought that she had earned. That's what it was. She married Harry. She's supposed to be a princess. Now she's mad that her child isn't getting a title and her child is being questioned about how dark it's going to be. Listen to me. There's no time that I've ever heard of where two people of two different cultures come together and make a baby and somebody in the family didn't question what the baby was going to look like. All of us got an aunt like that. All of us. Let's stop playing. All of us got an aunt, grandma, uncle that would say some slick shit like that. All of us. Because race matters in almost everybody's life. Is it fucked up? Absolutely. But are we going to act like that experience is outside of a normal experience that's happening for everybody? You know how many people have to have their love for somebody else of another race questioned? They don't get to run off to a $14.6 million home in Santa Barbara. Oh, they didn't want to give us security. You got a $14.6 million home here in America. You can't afford security? You needed Tyler Perry to reach out? What the fuck is Tyler Perry reaching out for? What could he possibly do that they can't do for themselves? Let's not be ridiculous. Then you point out that you wanted privacy. Privacy was of the utmost importance. Yet you call the most famous journalist in the world to do an interview where you air out all your goddamn business. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. I get it. It sucks. So many women would love to be a princess in Buckingham Palace. You get to be in the history books forever. Forever. And crossing the color barrier. Oh my God, you'd be in the history books forever. And that family said, no, we're going to keep running things the way we've always run it. See, the thing is, when you're a black woman and you're breaking barriers, it's always tough. Always tough. When Rosa Parks didn't give up her seat, pretty sure it was tougher than we're not going to give you security. When Ruby Bridges was the first child of desegregation and adults were threatening to murder her, they wouldn't want their children to be around her just so she could get an education. That little girl went to school every single day. And because they weren't going to give your baby a title, or they wasn't going to give you mandatory security, even though you're a multi-millionaire, you took off and ran and didn't want to face them. Listen, I don't know how many black women y'all know, but when a black woman earns her spot, you can't kick her out of her shit, and she don't definitely run away. I don't know no black women like that. You would have had to see her every day. You mean like, we don't want you here. Well, bitch, I'm in here. Or that's what I'm saying. Listen, you worried about your son not getting a title? Even the ghettoest of black women will call their son a king anyway. You were wanting validation from that white family. That's what it is. The $14.6 million home wasn't enough. If it was like that, why are you caring so much about acceptance to their family when you could just move your mother and your father in your $14.6 million home? It's about white validation. That's what she wants. And she's using black people to garner attention. You can disagree all you want to, but those are the facts. Prove me wrong.